And guess what? Just like that, the three of us are back. I don't remember the last time all three of us were together.
Probably a couple of weeks. I don't know. Maybe it was Monday. I don't know. So,
I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, no, it couldn't have been Monday because you weren't on the show Monday.
That's what I'm saying.
He wasn't. You're right.
Yeah, so I think it's been between travel
Tell
and
everybody, Julian.
people
Tell
sick
everybody.
and Julian doing his thing.
Monday.
Yeah. He's a big fan of the Huddle. He's really trying to work his way into a hosting spot.
Jewel, you got to wait a little bit longer, Jewel.
He doesn't understand why nobody can understand what he's saying. He's a little pissed off about it.
So I want to start out this morning by congratulating you, Lori. Yesterday's Community Impact Breakfast was all of that. And I want you to explain what it is, why it is, and just the significance of what happened yesterday.
So our annual community breakfast, we started about 3 years ago, is a way of, first of all, it's cutting the ribbon on the new storefronts, which this year I am so excited to say there were 11 new storefronts, which is tremendous. We are almost at the point where there is no space available in BizTown or Finance Park for sponsorship. And then it's also a way of honoring some of our partners in the community, and just giving the community an update of what's happening at JA.
Yeah, the who's who of Broward County was there yesterday. Lots of handshaking, lots of hugs and kisses, and good to see everybody there for a good cause. Now, for someone like me, who I've been involved in it for a long time, to see all of those storefronts, one after the other, after the other, after the other, was
amazing.
It was
and the names of who's involved. I mean, you had the who's who of businesses, storefronts. I mean, it was Lori. I said this yesterday. I said the people that were at the event and the logos that were involved in the event is a testament to you and the board and what you guys have created. You are the organization to be involved in, and it's just unbelievable to see. It was fantastic.
Well, we're riding the wave. We're not taking any of that for granted. Our team truly values. And I posted last night before I went to bed. I was like, okay, everybody else is posting. I got to post something, right? And it really, for me, it was the power of passion. Because everybody you heard, right, talked about the passion of changing young people's lives. It was about the purpose, right, coming together around a purpose. And it was about partnerships and relationships, which we talk about all the time. So the power of when those three align, man, the impact that can happen and the opportunities are amazing.
Yeah. I mean, there was a couple of things that stood out to me. The lady who has the beauty supply or beauty,
Carolyn Aronson,
she really pointed it out. Like, this beauty salons wouldn't be one that you would write at the top of your hit list. Like, all right, let's go after that. But she's done extremely well. She's proven that this is a viable thing to teach people as a skill set. And so I loved that. A lot of the people that were supportive yesterday, it wasn't about go to college, get a degree, and then go that route. There were lots of, get your hands dirty and do good things, and good things happen. So it was
what I thought she said. The one takeaway from her was she was like, these are important skill sets. And these are skill sets that people need to be successful, or that they can use to be really successful. Which I thought that was really cool to talk about, because you're not learning the beauty salon skill sets in high school. You're not learning that in college anywhere, unless you go to the trade school for it, unless you go to the Aveda Institute or wherever they're teaching that. So I thought it was really cool to hear her really hammer home, these are skill sets, and these are skill sets that can make you really successful.
Yeah. The one thing that struck me was there were 4 people who, while they were speaking, cried.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, like
wow.
that. You talk about passion
Yeah.
and purpose. I mean, she cried, right? Mike Fissler, when he got the board award, cried. There were a couple of other, and they're off the top of my head. I can't think right now, but that part was amazing. And the superintendent, I could not be more optimistic about our district and where the district is going to go. He was, a true advocate yesterday. I did not tell him what to say. He was not scripted. And he could not have been more passionate about this education. Look, every conversation I have with people, every table I'm at, tells us that kids are not engaged in their education. When I met with Deputy Superintendent, he said kids are not coming to school. They have everything here. So you better make it darn engaging, right? And give them a chance to practice and do. Otherwise, they got it at their fingertips.
Bingo.
And so they truly believe in JA. I'm so excited about where that partnership will go.
So speaking of people who are in tears, Casey De La Pena this morning is probably in tears because the Phillies didn't do what they were supposed to do. But Casey will join us tomorrow. Casey will join us tomorrow, and here's why. Everybody that was there yesterday is supporting the foundation, is supporting all of the principles and projects and programs that JA does. It is 1,000% funded by the community. So these storefronts and all of the board members are giving time, talent, and treasure. We have an event coming up. I'm proud to be part of the group that is that chairs the event, and Casey's going to be here to talk about it. It's just amazing. The people that are talking about JA now, it's just amazing. So great job.
By the way, one of these days, we're going to have to get Carolyn Aronson. I'll ask her to be on the show.
That would be wonderful. That would be
Friday, Huddler in the hot seat or something.
Yeah, we'll have you and Sherry Cedar do the Huddler in the hot.
Let's go, Sherry.
It's like, Mark,
it was also the Huddle was well represented yesterday at the JA event.
Yes.
It was cool to hear how many people were like, "Oh, it's great to see you in person. Great to see you in person." Because we see everybody every day, but it's actually to be there together was cool.
So yesterday was a unique day for me. I think it was for you as well, Mark, because most of what I do virtually.
Yep.
And yesterday started out with all those people early in the morning being at JA. Came back, had some coaching calls, had lunch with Tim Rappold. And if you don't know Tim is such an awesome guy. He heads up the state of Florida for Lincoln Financial. He too's probably crying in this morning because the Phillies lost. But we talked about as friends, we talked about getting 1% better. So, Huddle well represented. And then last night, I had the opportunity to go to dinner with a friend of mine who was from South Carolina, Luis Martinez. Luis reached out years and years and years ago on LinkedIn. He said, I am moving from South Carolina to Florida, and I see you all over LinkedIn. I want you to be the first person I meet in person. And I was. And so we went, we had coffee, we've been friends ever since. So great seeing him, great getting out, touching and hugging and being part of the real stuff, which leads us to tomorrow night. Mark, what's tomorrow night?
We've got the Women's Power Summit, the 3rd annual Women's Power Summit, which was great to see Jen Starkey there yesterday and Kim Sarney. And I even got to run into Robin Raphael as I was on my way out and she was on her way in. So that was really great. Talked to Cheryl yesterday. She's super excited about it. So the panel is locked and loaded and ready to go. Lisa Lutoff-Perlo will be kicking off the event. And just a reminder for everybody that while this is the Women's Power Summit and what we are trying to do is create conversations and education about creating equality in the leadership space, and we're doing all of this for the American Cancer Society, this is not a women's event. The whole point of this is to create the conversation for everybody to understand. So I know that there's plenty of men that have already gotten their tickets. There are a few spots left, and we would love to see as many of the male huddlers there as well, or anybody there's somebody who's in a leadership position or somebody who's growing into a leadership position. It's tons of information for them to learn from at this event, and a great place to be and network.
It is, power in networking. We talk about it all the time in the show. The tribe that you build is so important. I know Patrice Jimenez will be there tomorrow. And I said, hey, are you bringing somebody? And she said to me, no, I'm not. And I go, why? She goes, because I want to spend time investing in the people that are there. And I was like, bam, you go, girl.
Awesome.
That is, so I can't wait to see her in person. Michael Ficarra will be there. So thanks for all the support. It should be a wonderful, warm evening for everybody. Shay is actually at another meeting. So Jake is running the board. Jake.
Go, Jake.
So it's great. Cindy Metzler says she can't wait. This is it's just going to be an awesome night. I want to have a conversation about a phrase that I hear all the time, and I hear it, and I'm guilty of it as well, is, oh shit, I have to go do this thing. I have to go to this networking event. I have to go see my dad. I have to. And the reality is, if you are willing to shift your language, and we talk about the power of words all the time, to say you don't have to do anything. Like, there's nobody looking over my shoulder that's going to penalize me other than penalizing myself to say, I get to do it.
Right.
I am in a position where my mind, my body, my spirit, my health, I get to do it, and I should be grateful, which we'll talk about that next. But comments from both of you guys about, a mentality that says you don't have to do anything, you get to do it.
Well, I think, for me, I try to equate it to performance, and I can almost guarantee you that if your mindset going into something is that you have to do it, your performance in that thing is going to suck.
Right.
And if your performance in that thing sucks, then all of the results that come from it will suck. So, like, you said it, like, nobody's going to penalize you, but you will be penalized. What you're going after, what you want, what you're striving for will be penalized because of that, because nobody owes you anything. World's not going to give you anything. Nothing's going to just happen to you by accident. So if your perspective going into the thing that could offer you opportunity sucks, you're going to suck and the event's going to suck.
Yeah.
So if you change the way you look at it and you say, I get to go to this thing and I get to see what opportunities may show up here, what awesome people I may meet, to talk about it early in the show. But I had in-person coffee with Brian Cohen yesterday. Brian is a Florida State alum. I met him at FSU Trends yesterday, and he asked me a question that I thought was maybe the best question anybody ever asked me. He said, do you want to meet awesome people? And I was like, yeah. Like, what do you mean? Like, who would say no to that? But then I realized when you ask people, who do they want to meet? They're worried about clients. They're worried about the ideal client profile. They're worried about the industry that they're trying to get into. He just said, you want to meet awesome people. And I was like, hell yeah, man. So the perspective that you take into whatever the thing is going to affect the outcome. So if you're thinking I have to versus I get to, you've already beaten yourself.
That was extremely well said, Lori. I'm sure that this resonates with you as well.
It's funny when it comes to family, I always say that, right? I have the privilege of taking care of my mom or taking care of Patrick, right? And I always say God picked me, right, for Patrick. So I do feel privileged around all that. But if truth be told, right, there have been times in business or events where I said, usually my word is I need to go to this, right? And you're absolutely right, Mark. There are a couple of times that stick out for me where I remember going into it that way and thinking, I'm going to be here for 3 days. It was a seminar of some sort. If I stay like this, I'm going to be miserable for the next 3 days. I need to change my attitude, get present, and take whatever I can take out of this. And I think, sometimes you got to talk yourself through that.
You absolutely have to talk yourself
that's
through
the other
right?
talk
like,
track. Right.
Like Ryan Coleman says, get to is such a simple and powerful mindset change. I've really made the point in my recent trainings to define mindset for people. And I did it here on the podcast, a few weeks ago. But your mindset is how you perceive and organize the information. So if you walk into whatever fucking opportunity you're walking into and your mindset sucks, you are going to perceive everything around you as sucking. And then you're going to organize everything in a way that says this sucks.
Right.
Whereas if you just simply change the way you're perceiving that thing, the way you're thinking about it, you change the way you perceive it, then you change the way you organize the information about it, and everything changes. It's really
now I didn't get the opportunity to share this because I wasn't here Monday and Tuesday.
I got to plug in while you're talking.
So I didn't get the opportunity to share this, but on Saturday, I drove in a car with my brother and sister. Yes, I do have a brother and sister. I very rarely over the last 10 years have seen them, but I got in the car with them, drove 4 hours to spend time with my dad, and then drove home 4 hours that same day. I shared it on social media, and I was overwhelmed by the amount of people who said, good for you. I don't get the opportunity to see my dad because he passed away.
Right.
Or other people who said, you know what? I booked my ticket right now. Thank you. Thank you for pushing me. Jesse Itzler pushed me. I get to go see my dad. Was it a pain in the ass? Yeah. Did I? No, man, seriously, but
nobody wants to drive 3.5 hours. Right?
Especially not with a brother and sister.
Right.
It was a mindset shift that said, I'm fortunate that I still get to do this. Could it be more convenient? Could it be? Yeah, so what? It's all trade dress over what is really important now, which is what winning is. What's
so
important?
I have to say this because I think it applies so much to what you're saying. And I tell Mike this all the time. For Mike, it's about the destination. For me, it's about the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, is 3.5 hours in a car with your brother and sister a pain in the ass? Yes. But think about, in the future, when you look back on that, right, there have to be some nuggets or some things that came out of that journey, right? Good or bad, right? That you either learned or didn't learn or appreciate or don't appreciate. But it's about the journey and taking whatever that journey is supposed to teach us, right?
I've been sitting on this thought all morning. It happened. The thought came to me while I was on the walk with Lou. And I said, if I guaranteed myself that I would get everything I ever wanted in my life, but it would take me my entire life to get there, would you still do it? Right? Yeah, of course you would. If it was guaranteed, of course you would.
Right.
But that's what it's going to take. It's not going to happen before the end of your life. It's not going to happen before the rest of your life. It's going to take you your entire life to get everything that you want. So strap in and enjoy it. Let's go. Let's be about that.
I want to take this point really, really, really to the end because Scott Garber, whose mother is my sister, she had a great day because I showed up and I was present. I wasn't, oh shit, I gotta go do this thing. Right. I said, I get to do this. I get to get in the car with her. And sometimes what you do isn't for you, it's for the people around you. That's what true servant leadership is. So when we're talking about all this shit, if you're not serving people around you, you had me watching the show The Bear. Phenomenal. Right. The end of season 2 is probably some of the best TV ever. But one of the lines that blew me away, and I used it yesterday with my friends at Tao Hospitality, the word hospital and hospitality share the same thing. They serve people. It was like, holy shit. Yeah. It was so defining. So, this idea that we get to do the things around us leads you to gratitude. And Jay, can you give me motivational music? Because it's really significant here. So one of the things in that show, again, that I took away was no matter what your role was and no matter what someone said to you, you had to say, yes, chef. Yes, chef. Well, imagine if you said thank you to everything.
Yeah.
If you just showed thank you. Thanks for shitting down my throat. It's okay. Thanks for cutting me off in the road. Instead of rage, instead of what's going on, the world is full of really bad thinking.
Full of hate.
The only way to combat hate is with gratitude. So, it's this idea. Look at it.
Look at that gratitude.
I got
Look
love,
at that gratitude,
baby.
right?
Oh my God.
So it's like he heard it and knew on cue what he was supposed to do. That's amazing.
Mike, Mom. Drop Mike.
Oh,
Patrick,
sweet
thank
boy,
you for joining
Patrick.
us. Any final words there? Any final words, Lori? Any final words, Mr. Mark?
No.
Gratitude and agency, I think, are the things that you can really ground yourself and root yourself in. And if you want to change your mindset, which will change the way you perceive and change the way you organize, just start with gratitude.
This is a conversation I've had so many times with my daughter over the last, I would say, 10, 15 years. And it's so wonderful to watch her now have that different mindset. Because I said, you get to choose grateful or angry. You get to choose. Yep. It's a choice. Yep. And it's one of the C words, because choice, we all have choices. And so Amen. I think it's powerful.
Gotta love that. What a great way to do a Wisdom Wednesday. Today is the October Get on the Ball call. Mark,
the accountability call will be happening this Wednesday afternoon. Excited to be with everybody.
I was talking to somebody yesterday and they said something about, oh yeah, that's what we talked about on the call. And I was like, I might just tune in for that today. Hey, listen, not enough information.
Tomorrow night, obviously we'll have the show tomorrow, but then tomorrow night we will get the opportunity to see everybody in person at the Women's Power Summit. So make sure you are there. We will see you. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a